All right, let's talk about trading. What's the thing that really separates the pros from the rest of us? You might think it's about landing those massive, once-in-a-lifetime wins. But as we're about to see, real long-term success, well, it's actually all about discipline.
So, I gotta ask, what do you think is the real secret to successful trading? Is it having some kind of magic crystal ball, or maybe finding that one perfect stock that's gonna skyrocket? A lot of people think it's about having a strategy that never, ever loses. But the truth? It's pretty much the exact opposite of all.
And boom, there it is. This one idea is a total game changer. It's a fundamental shift in how you need to think. See, winning isn't about avoiding losses altogether. That's impossible. It's about deciding ahead of time how you're going to lose. It's about protecting your downside so that the upside has a chance to, do its thing.
Okay, so that brings us to the biggest challenge every trader runs into, especially when you're just getting started. It's this mental trap. And let me tell you, this trap has probably destroyed more trading accounts than any single bad stock pick ever has. You know how it is. Most beginners, they're just obsessed with one thing, finding that perfect moment to buy. But here's the kicker. Even the absolute best traders on the planet are wrong a lot. So picking a loser, that's not the failure. The real danger is what you do after you realize you've picked a loser. And this really gets to the heart of it. On one side, you've got what we call emotional trading. This is where revenge trading lives, that desperate feeling where you chase your losses, trying to win back what you just lost. It's a total emotional spiral. But then on the other side, you've got the disciplined, professional approach, sticking to your plan, accepting small losses, just treating them as a normal cost of doing business like any other expense.
So the big question is, how do we get that professional mindset? Well, it's all about flipping the script. Instead of thinking profits, 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 you start thinking protect my capital first, then think about profits. It's a whole strategy built around the idea of winning by just not losing everything in one go.
And the tool for that mindset? It's called risk management. And listen, this isn't just some fancy buzzword. It's a real, systematic process for survival in the markets. Think about it. You can't win the game if you're not even playing anymore. Risk management is the one thing that keeps you in the game long enough to actually have a shot at success.
So let's just stop here for a second and tackle this question. Is it actually normal to have losing trades? The answer is a huge, unequivocal yes. It's totally normal. In fact, a pro trader looks at small losses like a planned business expense. It's like paying for insurance, right? It's that small, predictable cost you pay to protect yourself from a total disaster. The goal is never to have zero losses. The goal is to make sure your wins are way bigger than your small, controlled losses.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but how do we actually do it? How do we put this into practice? Well, it really boils down to 3 golden rules. These are the bedrock of any solid trading plan. And it really is this simple, just 3 steps. If you can follow these with discipline, you'll protect yourself from the most common and the most devastating mistakes out there. So let's break each one down. First up, set your risk limit. The classic rule of thumb is to never, ever risk more than 1 to 2% of your entire trading capital on any single trade. Now that number is absolutely crucial. Why? Because it means you could be flat out wrong 10, 20, maybe even 30 times in a row, and you'd still be in the game. It's a mathematical shield that stops you from blowing up your account just because you hit a rough patch. Okay, rule number 2, your safety net. This is your stop loss. Think of it like an eject button for your trade that you set up before you even take off. You decide beforehand the absolute maximum you're willing to lose, and the stop loss order automatically pulls you out of the trade if it hits that point. And the most important word here, always. Use it always. This is completely non-negotiable.
And finally, number 3, controlling your emotions. This brings us right back to avoiding that dreaded revenge trading. Look, when you take a loss, you just have to accept it. It happened. Move on. If you start to feel that anger, that frustration boiling up, seriously, the best thing you can do is just walk away from the screen for a bit. The rules you set up beforehand, they're designed to protect you from yourself in the heat of the moment. You have to trust the system you built, not the crazy impulses you feel when things go wrong.
So let's circle back. Why do traders bother with all this risk management stuff? It's not just about losing less money, though that's a nice perk. The real point is to control the only thing you actually can control. You can't control the market, right? But you absolutely can control how much you stand to lose if you're wrong. And having that control is what gives you staying power.
All right, now we get to the fun part. This is where you take everything we've talked about and make it personal. Because let's be honest, a plan is totally useless if it's not one you're actually going to stick to.
Think about it. The only time to make decisions about risk is when you're calm, cool, and collected, not when a trade is live and your heart's pounding and money is flying around. Your rules, they need to be written down, and you need to commit to them before you even think about placing a trade. And it all starts with this one fundamental question. How much will I risk per trade? Are you going to stick with that 1 to 2% rule? Maybe even go a little lower. Honestly, the exact number isn't as important as just having a number, defining it right now, and then sticking to it like your life depends on it.
And that's really the main takeaway for today. Forget the exact percentage for a second. What is your number one single most important rule that you're going to set for yourself? The one rule that will protect your capital and make sure you can stay in this game for the long haul. Really think about that, write it down, and make it the absolute foundation of every single thing you do in the market.